I just read a quote that said, if you can wake up at 7 a.m. to build someone else's vision, you can wake up at 5 a.m. to build your own. And it's so true, man. We got to realize that life is short. Life is so short. And if you have a vision, you have a plan, you have dreams for the future, you got to make sure you get started now. And you got to make sure that you're giving your time and attention to things that are going to get you closer to fulfilling that goal and that dream that you have. Because it's easy. It's easy. I've heard people say that, a salary is just a drug that your employer gives you to forget about your dreams and your goals. And they may not do it with that intention, but ultimately that's what it does, right? Like, if they give us a little bit of a raise, then we're happy and we settle for working for someone else, which isn't bad, isn't bad. But if you want to do more, you definitely want to think outside of that box, outside of that bubble, outside of that standard that has been set, like I've mentioned before, by someone else. All these things we're so used to following, like, yeah, make sure you get a degree, you save money, you buy a brand new car when you graduate. It's like all these things are, standards that have been set by someone else. It doesn't mean you have to follow that path 100%. You can choose the path that you want to follow. The only problem that we run into sometimes is that going outside of that path is hard, because not many people follow, or not many people choose to go out of that path. But the ones that do are most of the time successful. Like, we're so used to living by the standards of a system that a lot of the times is broken. Like, why would we want to work pretty much our whole lives and depend on retirement money, when most of the time what you end up getting is not even enough to survive? Why would we want to live that kind of life? So from time to time we have to challenge that system. We gotta challenge that path if you truly want to explore what's out there in life. Like, there's so much to do, man. So much to do in so little time that we get here. And most of the time you're only going to find freedom when you do something for your own, for your own good. Like starting a business, building a system that's going to run that business for you, so that even if you're not there, income doesn't stop. And it's not even about the money, at least not for me. It's about having the freedom to be able to do what you want to do in life. Not having to be in a certain place for income to be generated. I find that odd. Like, why don't they teach us how to start a business in school? Why don't they teach us about finances? Like, yeah, sometimes that stuff is taught, but that should be fundamental. That should be something that should be a part of the curriculum, to make sure that when you graduate high school, for example, you know how to manage your finances, that you know how to take care of yourself properly, as far as making decisions that are good for your health, um, and starting a business, things like that. How to be successful out of the the typical path that seems to be the only way or the only path to success, when that's not the case. You can be a lot more successful without a degree. And like I've mentioned before, I'm not saying don't go to school. School is good. I went to school. I have a couple degrees. And I don't say this to boast about it, but I feel like I could have done a lot more if I would have started building a system or building a business a couple of years back. But I think things happen for a reason, and if you're still young, make sure that you come to this realization early on in life. I'm still young too, relatively young, so I can make it. But I wish I would have come to this realization like 10 years ago, like probably before I even went to school or graduated from school. But it's never too late. If you're still alive, you can still make a difference. You can still make a change to pursue those dreams and those goals that you have. So at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of people that may seem irrelevant. A lot of people might think this is being materialistic. But like I said, to me, it's not even about the money. Like, I don't crave being rich or anything like that. I don't crave having fame or being famous. None of that. At the end of the day, what I'm after is like taking care of my family and being able to have the freedom to enjoy life to its full potential. So I hope if this helps at least one person, I'm happy with that. Because I wish I would have had someone tell me this years ago. Or maybe I heard some of these things when I was younger, and I just didn't understand the true meaning of them. But if this video found you and you're still watching right now, make sure you give this some thought and make sure what you're doing aligns with what you want out of life.